Since I'm in a really good mood, I think I've talked about the components to my Edison Standard phonograph. What I mean by that is I'll talk about everything that runs on it. The inside motor, the heart of the phonograph, which powers the record, where the record sits, and everything else that just goes with it. Even the records, how they work. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? First, we're going to talk about the inside of the machine, the motor, and how it works. To start off, this big ol' spin, this like all of this right here, well, not just all of this, but this right here, this is called the spring, and that is where all the kinetic energy goes. Let me show you. You put in this, and you thread it in, just like so, until you start feeling that tension on the spring like that. And as you see, as I crank it, it'll crank up that spring, giving it power. I crank it about 9 times. You can see it moving. Give it about 9 cranks. And then whenever I start it, this is going to release, this little piece of rubber right here is going to release off of this, allowing all the components to spin. So when I turn this on, this governor is immediately going to start spinning to stabilize the top of the mandrel. And what that's going to do, as this spins, right here, as you can see it's going, this is going to run to stabilize this up here. All these gears to help, run this over here, the belt drive. The belt runs up here, turns the mandrel, and this mandrel connects to all these gears back here. These gears all are even, so these are not, they're not all even like equal sized, but they all run to this specific spot, which is called a feed screw, and that feed screw is what moves the reproducer. So when you lower it, it's going to start moving. As you can see, that's how the record is being played back and how the grooves are being played, as the sapphire underneath this reproducer plays back a record, which I'm going to demonstrate here later. And now that we got to the motor, we're going to talk about the heart of the phonograph, which pretty much plays every record that you desire and put on this very mandrel. I have 2 of them, so I'll just describe it with this. This is a Model C, so it's a 2-minute reproducer with a copper diaphragm in the middle here, which has a hook on the bottom. As you can see, right there is a rounded sapphire, same dimension as a recorder, but doesn't carve, and it relies on this floating disc to play the grooves, which are just valleys and like hills inside the record of the wax. So the vibration is gonna go from this little sapphire up this pavlet right here, and then it's gonna go up the needle, this little bar right here, into the diaphragm where that wire is. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it right there in the middle. And it's going to send the vibrations through the diaphragm. It's going to disrupt the air molecules, and then it's going to come out this little nipple here, which amplifies in a horn, which is going to play back your sound. To demonstrate grooves, I will use my cleanest record. So as you can see, this is a gold molded cylinder, even though I don't have it in the correct casing. This is grooves on a record. As you can see, them little stops and like the little pivots in the middle of the records, those are called the valleys and hills. If you look up close, you can see them very well. Maybe let me do something. Maybe you can see it a little better, kind of. But you can kind of see where the voices are recording. Pretty much whenever you talk into a recorder, that mica diaphragm is going to vibrate the same frequency of your voice and play and groove sound into the cylinder. And then that sound will become swarf. So then whenever you go to take it off the recorder, you stop the machine, take it off and whatnot, you brush off all the swarf, and then put it on, and then put a reproducer on, and then play back the sound. To demonstrate how this all works, I'm going to put on the clean cylinder, set the reproducer, and play this record. Let's go ahead and get started.
Christmas Morning at Clancy's by Steve Porter, Edison Records. What's all that racket about? Hey, Gary, that's right. Merry Christmas, Mary Ann.
The same to you, Pat.
Come on now, children, we'll see the Christmas tree. Here it is. And there's one thing I like about a Christmas tree.
I'm fat, fat, fat.
The color of it. Here, Tommy, here's some things for you. And here's your Patsy. And here's a lot for you, Dan.